Hi everybody, welcome to part 4 of Pip's Christmas Atlantic adventure. Now I'm here in Atlanta Airport. The last time you saw me I had met up with some strange old guy who accosted me at the hotel. And would you believe it has happened again? I just come into the lounge here at Atlanta Airport. Now, I know you guys think I probably get chatted up and yelled at by attractive girls all the time, but it really doesn't happen that often. In fact, never. But today it really has. So I'm just minding my own business, and this very gorgeous young girl starts saying, "Hey, you come and have a drink with me." So who am I to say no? So I said, "Yeah, come on over and have a drink." And she's here with me now. So let's meet this strange girl. It's Dr. Steph.
So I thought you were going to refer to me first as a strange old guy. So I'm glad to hear that wasn't the case. But no offense to Micah, of course, with all of that. But yeah, I'm here in the Atlanta airport too. And it was actually not my intention to be here today, but funny enough.
It was me. It was my animal magnetism. She thought, I just can't resist.
That's actually true. No, but it's a long story. You want me to tell the
Please do.
brief version?
Yeah,
of the story?
what are you doing here in Atlanta?
Well, I'm actually on my way to Chicago, and that was part of the plan originally. But the plan was actually for me to leave from Charlotte to go through Nashville and then into Chicago Midway. And I should have been there already, but I got on the plane in Charlotte, a Southwest Airlines 737, and I'm sitting in my seat and I look out the window and I see that the captain has come back out of the aircraft and is coming around to the baggage compartment, and he's got a couple ramp agents with them and they're all pointing at stuff, and I'm going, it doesn't look real great. That's not something that usually happens. So he comes back on and proceeds to actually give a very detailed explanation, which I'm sure went over most passengers' head, about how there's these pressure relief panels in the forward cargo area to basically, if the compartment becomes overpressurized, it alleviates the pressure by sending that pressure back into the main cabin. Well, apparently on the last flight, one of those had given way or blown, or whatever the proper term is for that. Didn't sound like it was going to be a big deal, but they needed maintenance to come and look at it. Again, long story here, but in Charlotte, Southwest doesn't have their own maintenance crew, so they had to wait on the contracted maintenance to actually come and take care of that for them, and they had no idea when that was going to happen. So I'm going to Chicago just for the evening to actually be at a friend's surprise birthday party tonight. And I was looking at the time, going, well, I'm not going to make my connection in Nashville at this point. So there was a later flight on Southwest, but it put me in just a little bit later than I wanted to be there. So I started looking for other alternatives. And wouldn't you know that Acme has a flight that came through Atlanta, and it's still a little later than I want to be in Chicago, but it's going to get me there just in the nick of time, provided that there's no other mechanical delays. So I was like, all right, let me off of this plane, and I walked basically right across the concourse to the next gate over and got on an Acme flight to Atlanta. So that's how I'm here.
Well, Southwest's misfortune is my gain. Fantastic. Well, listen, we got a couple of beers, some Sweetwater IPAs. I think we should 420s.
Yes.
Merry
Cheers.
Christmas to you,
Merry
Steph,
Christmas.
and to everyone else. Lovely. Now, no sign of Captain Jeff, unfortunately. Jeff, you've let us down. We're here. Where's Jeff?
I was sure that you were going to be here. Where are you, Jeff?
I'm sure he's at home with his sitting around in his underwear and his vest with a beer going, "Ugh." Jeff, you animal. Get out here. Okay, well, so last time I spoke to you just the other night, I just met up with Micah, and we went out and we had a really lovely meal. Micah had some fishy type thing. We found a little local restaurant. It was kind of nice. It was very nice. In fact, the restaurant had a dentist above it, and apparently the dentist had some kind of water leak just the day before, so they'd had to pull all the walls down. So it was just tarpaulin walls. So it didn't look very attractive, but it was very nice. I was in the mood for some steak, but I thought, hey, I need to have some lobster with that as well. So I ordered the surf and turf, thinking it would just be a nice little steak and maybe a little lobster claw or something on the side of it. I got the full-on, I don't know what it was, like a 4-pound lobster.
It was a legitimate Maine lobster.
It was a monster. It was a monster. And then to go with it, on top of the lobster, was a steak, like, the size of my hand, bigger even. So I was absolutely stuffed by the time I managed to finish all. And I did finish it all, I'm very pleased to say, without any help from Micah.
Captain L wasn't there to to help you.
No, but I had his voice in my head the whole time, saying, "Go on, Pip. Go on, Pip." He would have demolished the lot. Oh well, hang on. Let's turn the camera around so you can see what we're seeing out the window, because it's kind of a nice view. Who was that then? I don't recognise that.
No idea.
Well, look.
Some sort of car.
So hopefully you can pick all this up. So we got over there's some airline called Delta. Never heard of them. Looks like a 767. And then going this way, there's some garbage airline called Virgin Atlantic. I don't know what they're doing here.
I've never heard of them either.
Yeah, I think they're grounded because they've not paid their landing fees. They've been impounded. And some more Delta. Hey, there's a lot of Delta aircraft here. There's another one taxiing. In fact, that looks like the 717 that I flew in this morning.
I came in on one too.
Oh, really? It looks a lot like a Mad Dog. I'd assumed it was a Mad Dog. It wasn't.
There's a little.
In fact, I was just listening to the latest APG. Hang on a second. Yes, I was just listening to the latest APG on the way in, sitting on that thing, and I think Dana referred to it as the angry puppy.
Yep.
The angry puppy. That's great. What was this saying? Right. So Maine was lovely. We had a great dinner. Went to bed kind of late, but that was fine. Got up early, and then we flew down to Wichita. A very uneventful flight indeed, except for the stonking headwinds. We averaged about 130 knots headwind on the nose the whole way. So that turned into something like a 4-hour, 20-minute flight. It was pretty tough going. A lot of headwinds, but very nice, very easy to deal with the controllers, although they all tend to speak a bit quickly over here.
Do we?
I think so. Like, safe jets. I'm like, what? Say again, slow down for me. Just say that again one more time, a little bit slower.
It's just our awful accents.
No, well, maybe.
Yeah.
No, it just takes a bit of getting used to. After 10 years flying over my side of the pond, I still have trouble understanding the French. So, it just takes a bit of getting used to. But that was fine. We landed in Wichita. We eventually got the right airport. They cleared us for the visual like 3 million miles away. They said, "You're cleared the approach." It's like, okay, well, which airport? Because there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. There's loads. Cessna or Textron has their own airfield. Everyone's got their own airfield in Wichita, it seems.
Quite a aviation hotspot.
It really is. As I was saying earlier, they've got museums. They've got a space museum. They've got several aviation museums. So it looks like a really interesting place. I keep turning that the wrong way, don't I? There we go. It's a shame I didn't have more time. With a bit more time, I could have gone out and had some fun. But as it was, I was absolutely exhausted. Oh, there goes a Mad Dog. Oh, look at that. It's not on fire or anything.
No, and it's all in one piece.
Goodness me.
No parts fell off.
Wow.
Very impressive.
Yes, I was pretty tired, so I ended up just going out for a quick bite to eat. As I was telling Steph earlier, I had some chicken wings. I think they were considered fairly mild chicken wings, but they nearly blew my head clean off. They were so hot. My tongue is paralyzed still. But that was nice. And then I just went to bed, woke up again at about 3 a.m, wondering what to do. The gyms are closed and there's nothing to do at that time. So I eventually wandered down, had a thoroughly unhealthy breakfast. The full-on...
That's what we're here for in America. I mean, if you can't have an unhealthy breakfast here, where can you have an unhealthy breakfast?
Well, I'm glad I've got Steph here because I may imminently keel over with a heart attack and need resuscitating, because that was bacon and waffles. And
I'm sure there's an AED around somewhere.
Yes. So that was that. Got down to the airport. I thought being the 23rd of December it would be packed to the rafters, but actually...
It's not bad. Yeah, it's really not that crazy.
Yeah, I was almost the only one in the airport when I arrived, like 2.5 hours early. So I hung around for a bit, got on the flight, came down here, and just as I got to the lounge here, quite a nice flight down, got to the lounge, I got a message from Steph saying something about going through Atlanta. And I don't know, from the time code, it looked like it had been sent hours ago, so I assumed you'd landed and gone already. Mm-hmm. And then as I was looking at it, I got another text from Steph saying something like, "Oh, we're on finals now." Like, oh, yeah. Cool. Well, and I said, "Hey, I'm in the lounge." And she said, "Oh, I really, really need a Sweetwater beer." And I said, "Well, hey, they got it here in the lounge." And she said, "Well, I'll be right over." So thank you, lounge, for having Sweetwater, because otherwise I'm sure Steph would have gone somewhere else. And I'd be here all on my own. So, Steph, you've got probably not too long now before you need to get to your flight.
I've got about another 20 minutes or so
Okay.
a little bit of time.
Well, I've got about 4 hours, I think, before my flight on a Delta 767 seat 8D, I think it was, a business class ticket.
I'm on a 717, another angry puppy, but seat 2D, because that's all that was available when I booked this flight. So.
Oh, nice. I must say it was fairly decent, the business seat I had earlier on the pup. Can't complain at all. So yeah, like an 8-hour flight back home. So I'll get home in the early hours of tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. or something like that, and a couple of hours to drive home. Quick shower, change, then Christmas shopping. Just in time. 24th of December. Go and do all my Christmas shopping. Get the wife to wrap it all up. And then go to the pub.
Perfect.
And that's my Christmas Eve sorted. So I think this probably ties up my little series of Atlantic adventures. I may do another one in the coming months. We've still got plenty more hawkers that need delivering. Oh, I tell you the other thing. We got to Wichita, and I've never seen so many hawkers in all my life. There were hundreds of them all over the place. Well, I mean, they were mostly SafeJets hawkers, because we're getting rid of them, and SafeJets US are also getting rid of them.
Right.
So there were a lot of them there. So it's kind of sad, actually, see all these hawkers lying around. Which means I'll be very shortly off to some other aeroplane type, and whatever it is, it won't be nearly as much fun. C'est la vie, yeah. So I think from Atlanta Airport here in Georgia, USA, I'm going to say Merry Christmas and goodbye, and Steph's probably going to say something like
Merry Christmas. Take care, y'all.
bye.